Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Jo. I am Belushi Stitches here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. This channel is about cross stitch. This particular series of videos relates to chatelaine designs and the Chatelaine Chronicles. This series is going to follow the design of Versailles. Welcome to any new viewers and subscribers here. I'm glad to have you watching along. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you very much for following my chatelaine journey. Hi everyone. I'm super zoomed in at the moment, so apologies for any wobbling. I've got a bit of a conundrum. So on the first two fan gardens that I've done, in this particular section there are two symbols in this green, and you can see the 4C symbols at the top there. And the bottom two of those lead down into two different symbols. So this one that I'm pointing out with my bottom prong of my... I realise this is the wrong tool, hang on. Far more helpful to have something with one prong. Okay, this symbol here has got a cross in it. So it's just a green cross, top right, bottom left, top left there, bottom right. So it's like one massive cross stitch over four normal squares. So that's one symbol. And then the second symbol in this section is next to it, which is this one, which is, yes, there's the full cross diagonally across in the normal way, but there's also an up and down bit and a left to right bit. It's all in this green colour. It's quite tricky to see, even less so through the camera, so sorry about that. But there are clearly two different symbols. One's just a cross, the other one is has got four kind of bits to it. So there's no official instructions with this one because unfortunately Martina wasn't able to write them for this one. This is one of the last pieces that she designed before she passed away. So there are unofficial instructions, which I think have been written by members of the Facebook group, the Chatelaine support group, and maybe others. I'm not sure who's contributed to them. So I've got these instructions, and in the first two fan gardens it says that this stitch here with 8 kind of bits to it, 8 prongs to it, is an eyelet, and so you are creating a hole in the middle by pulling each of these 8 prongs really tightly. So that's an eyelet. And then it says in between these eyelets, which are here and a few down here, there are dense road stitches. So this is a cross. It doesn't match the dense road stitch symbol for other bits, such as these ones. So these have got a lot more prongs, and this is a dense road stitch. But I went with the instructions in the absence of anything else, and so I've done eyelets for these sort of chunky ones and dense road stitches for these, even though these would have more prongs really to make them proper dense road stitches. Anyway, I did that. I looked at some of the pictures that other people had stitched in the Facebook group, and they'd actually done this as an actual cross, so just 2 legs across. But even with 2 strands of this particular green colour, there's quite a lot of fabric that shows through, so it sort of stands out because the rest of it is quite full coverage. Yes, it's got beads and things, but it's chunky, it's pretty filled in, so it just kind of stood out. So I just made the decision to go with the instructions, and that seemed fine, so that's what I did. So this is what it looks like. So here are the eyelets, whee, and then this is a dense road stitch. And it looks okay, you know, it looks fine. You don't really notice any of it because there's just so much going on, you don't really notice it. So that was fine when there's 2 symbols and the instructions say one's an eyelet, one's a dense road stitch, even though that symbol is different to this symbol, but it tells you they're both dense road stitches, that the symbols are different. So I just thought, okay, let's just go with it. And that is fine for the left and right fan gardens because there's only these 2 symbols. But I'm now on the north fan garden, And this right next to these two now appears to have a third symbol. Oh look, a dense road stitch. This is the same symbol for the dense road stitch. So now I've got 3 symbols. So let's just use this strip as an example. That's just one cross. There's no extra legs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 legs in here. There's 8 legs in here. And then 16 legs in here. So these are 3 clearly distinct symbols. I just have to make a decision about what to do in this one. These are dense road stitches and they look right around. This is slightly different. So there's a motif in the middle of here. There is actually some empty fabric, which there isn't on the others so far. And I just have to make a decision as to what to do about it. So what I could do is, these are eyelets as per normal. These are dense road stitches, and so are these. I could just do that. I could also try just doing a cross here. So much happening in this stuff. You just don't really notice one stitch, but when you're stitching it, you notice every stitch. so I just have to make a decision, and I don't really know what to do. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to some of this stuff, and I like it to be right, but I don't think there is a right or wrong, so I agonise over it for a little while. But yeah, so that would be, where's my pointy implement? That would be eyelet, dense road stitch, eyelet, dense road stitch. And I don't think that's supposed to be a dense road stitch after all. But I don't know 100% what to do about it. I might just do the dense road stitches would flow through, I guess. That kind of goes, all the way down to the next section. That's probably what I'll do, but on reflection, had I looked at this sort of north bit in advance, I would have seen this and gone, ooh, that's not quite right. Anyway, that's sort of 5 minutes rambling about that. I'll make a decision and just go with it. But I should have looked ahead, but there's only so much looking ahead you can do. Anyway, bye. Hello everybody. So I'm not sure where this clip is going to end up, in which section it's going to end up in. So I'm just going to tell you where I am and what I'm about to do, and worry about where to fit this in later. Sorry, it's a bit out of focus. So this is in the North Fan Garden, and I've done all the stitching and all the back stitch and all the specialty stitches, which comes under stitching. Ignore this mark, which is still there. I'm now, so it needs beading, and this is different to the East and West fan gardens, which are, there's a little bit showing there on that one, and a little bit showing there on this one. They're a little bit different to that one. These two have got kind of centerpieces that are stitched with a crystal bead in the middle, and this one has got the center motif of the monogram of Marie Antoinette. So it's going to be backstitched lines of M and A overlaid on each other. And in between that, there's actually little 1/1 crosses. This is 28 count fabric, I think. There's not a huge amount of space to play with, and it's quite complex. I'll just show you a tiny bit of the pattern. So I've had to take a photo of the of this and in order to zoom into it on my PDF, because one version of the pattern is tiny and you can't really, I can see this, I can see what it says, but you can't zoom in nicely, nice enough to sort of really see it clearly. And then on the zoomed in pattern, which is divided by 4, the back stitch lines are the ones that take precedence, so you can't really see the symbols behind that either. So I've taken a photo of the original one and then loaded that into my PDF reader and then zoomed that in. So you can see here each one of these squares is, so for instance where this N is here, that is the top right corner of a normal cross stitch. So teeny tiny. And then you can see the 3 different colours of back stitch is this, this teal colour, blue, and then I think there's like a dark green, is it? Blue, yeah, blue, light teal, or dark green. It's very similar. So it's quite a chunky little section, which I've left till last because, you know, you just want to, I want to do it all in one go. So I'm going to do it now. You see where like this symbol here, where is it? Where's my hand? Hang on. Oh, this symbol here, 2 little yellow dots. I mean, you can barely see it even zoomed in. So, and I don't know really what I'm gonna do about carrying the thread. Yeah, I might have to plan this out a bit. I think you're supposed to do the stitching first, and then they do follow sort of. I think all these little symbols do follow a pattern, but I'm not entirely sure what that is yet. So wish me luck, and I will report back. Bye. Hi. So I'm now done on the 1/1 stitching. There's not much there. It takes ages. Yeah, it's sort of in the shape of an M with twirly bits. It'll all come together. I've got 3 different colours of backstitch to come on now. So yeah, all this is done. I'm just going to zoom in a tiny bit just because I can. Yeah, there's about 5 colours in here, I think. Yes, maybe 6 colours. So there's bright gold. Oh, let me get my implement. So there's this bright gold, a dark gold, light blue, grey, dark green. Whoops. I think that's those 5 actually. Yeah. It's quite tricky, sort of in terms of tails on the back. You can see I've carried some thread. If you just look there, with the bottom pointy bit, you can see there I've carried some thread behind. It does kind of follow where the back stitch is going to go. I mean, you won't be able to see it. It's fine. And it's really, there's a lot of sort of weird little bits in the back stitch, which you'll see shortly. But yeah, it's really cute. It took ages to do. Yeah, and if I just scroll out, you can see how tiny it is. So I should be able to get the back stitch done. I mean, that's going to take a while because there's loads of little bits that come off of the main back stitch, but I should be able to get that done pretty quickly, really. So yeah, it's all... Oh, my cat just sneezed. It's all coming along very nicely. All right, see you in the next bit. Bye. Hello, everybody. It's first thing in the morning on a day, and I thought I might actually bring you with me on some of the back stitch for this Marie Antoinette monogram. So I've got the first. I quite like. I have to say, I quite like not looking ahead sometimes. I mean, I look ahead at the instructions, and I still make mistakes. But I look ahead at the instructions. But what I don't look ahead at is what sort of thread I'm going to use next, because it's quite a nice little surprise. Yeah, I'll zoom you in. But while I'm here, I might just show you the end effect of the whole 3 different symbols saga that we spoke about the other day. I'll just bring you in. I'm hoping you'll be able to see. So I get my pointy implement. Here are some dense road stitches, and then it had kind of 2 other symbols, a symbol for this and then another symbol here, and this symbol here was just a cross. But it did look quite, it did sort of show the fabric in the background. So I think we're not, I think on reflection, we're not actually sure if that should be a cross or a stitch. But these 3 were 3 different symbols. I went ahead and sort of used the same methodology that I've used in the other ones, which is to put in the dense road stitches. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyelets in this section, and then I've got sort of 2 and a partial dense road stitch here. And you know, I don't know what it's supposed to look like, but I think it looks fine. Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm a bit annoyed about my colour choice on this side, because I did all of this blue stuff. Ow, I think I got stuck in the scissors. I've done all this blue stuff here, and then changed the thread, and it's variegated, and I sort of didn't really think about it too much because I thought it would be fine. But I've just got this one light green one here. I think the beads here are this kind of blue. Oh no, they're purpley colour, and it might just mold, you know, sort of mesh together quite nicely. But yeah, I used it here and then used it in just this one square here. But I think it just goes to show how, you know, you can make it really sort of symmetrical by just fussy cutting and being really careful with where you use your thread and stuff. But I don't know how much thread I've got to do that, so I've just gone with it. I can see a bit of a gap there, so I think I might have to, oh, that's better, even that, just moving that bottom leg of that's cross stitch. But yeah, so okay, I think you're probably zoomed in nicely. So I'm using this lame or lame braid. I think it's lame, isn't it? SB93. It's called Dark Periwinkle. It's more purple than it's showing. It's very dark purple. So yeah, one strand of this I'm going to start with. Okay, so that's really dark. Where am I? I am going to start over here. One, miss one. There's 2 stitches there. What's happening there? Right, so it's a quarter. So I've just got a tiny, so I'm going down to there. Yeah. Now it does say you can back stitch this or long stitch it. I think I'm going to long stitch it because I've seen somebody else and it looks really cute. 1, 2. Yeah. And then, oh, I really don't want to go wrong on this stuff. On there. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. No, I'm there. There? No, I just need to think about it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's there. Okay. I need to think about it in either each one of these is 1, or I need to think about, like, a proper square would be 2. That would be a normal cross stitch. So I just need to think about which, like, what's the word? Which set of counting to go with. Oops, can you still see? Yeah. Okay, so that's, so then 1, 2, 3. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3. That should be at the top of these 2, correct? It starts to get a bit more overlaid now with other stuff, like the next layers. 1, 2, 3. Where did that come? Where did that go? Oh, there's a little bit there. What's that from? Oh, it must be the tail. I'll try and get that on the next row. On the next one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. If the other 2 are lame braids, this is going to get a bit tight, actually. 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No. 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, I got a long one. 1. 1, 6, 1, 6. Yep. 1, 2, 4. Try not to count, knowing that some of you may well be counting. It's really hard. Up there, yep. And then up there, yep. Is that right? Yeah. Yep. Now this one's really long, so instead of going underneath over here, like go, you know, like backstitch going ahead and then coming back, what I'm actually going to do, so I don't, well, one, I don't want to waste thread, but also, well, I don't really know, but I'm going to actually go forwards with the backstitch. So I've just done that bit backstitch. Ordinarily you'd come here and then stitch back, but I'm actually going to come up in that same bit and then go forward with it. Oh, I just need to count this in a minute. Hang on. 17 and then 10. So is it in there, is the question. Yes, yes it is. Excellent. So 2. No, that one's not right. That one's right, I think, which is just this little into the middle of a stitch, for example. Yeah, and then that is actually to there. Yep. Ooh, I can't tell. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know, I can't tell if that is I can't tell if it's a long line or if it just goes or if it sort of stops in the middle. I'm just gonna have to see if I can, if it does stop there, then I have to either catch that thread or go underneath it. Okay, I've decided that it is not one long one. I've decided that it goes to there, and then I could, nah, I'm going to go underneath it and just see what happens. And then I don't think I can count up to here. I'm just going to have to guess. Well, not guess. Yeah. Nine and 15. Okay, cool. I did count. Where am I going? Oh yeah, back to this one. So, no, that's the wrong one. It is that one. Sorry, I know you can't see what I'm doing. But I can zoom in on this one. So, I'm over there. Oh no. Which page do I do? Ah, right, okay. Right. I've now got three. I've got this bit on three different pages of pattern. I'm just trying to work out which one gives me the best view of the back stitch. I think it's this one. Okay. So, now that I'm here, I'm going up. Oh no. Are they overlaying that bit? No, it's fine. So there's actually, I'm going to stitch this bit now. It's two little stitches. 1, 2, yeah. But on the pattern, it's actually a different colour. So I think this back stitch, and it might well be instead of this purple, but I'm going to stitch it on top. I think this should be a flowing purple one. Oh, this is where there's loads of stuff on top of it. I can't really see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2. Should we go there? Diagonally down from that one. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, it's really hard to see. I think this just requires and calls for just some slow, calm counting. 5. Oh, I think I was holding my breath. Yeah. That's so cool. I think now I probably should have stitched this down like this one after all. But it might be covered with something, so it might not be that. Oh yeah, I've got the A. So that's the M. That's the M. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I think that calls for a sip of coffee But you don't need to hear me do that. So I'm going to tie the back off, have a sip of coffee, and then come back and see what we've got for the second one. Okay, the next one's pretty interesting. Oh, I'm showing you the back. Actually, let me just show you. So this is the upside down M. It's getting quite chunky now. So the next one it asks you to use is the A, the letter A, is Gloriana Peacock Blue. So this is, it's not far off the colour. So it's really quite interesting. It says to use 1 strand, but for more contrast it says use 2 strands. I'm gonna, before I tie this on, I'm gonna turn it over, kind of maybe just, oops, pretend stitch something. Okay, so I haven't tied anything on. I'm just gonna do an example bit. So if I was to go from here, for example, down to here or whatever, and then here too, I'm just doing something so that I can see it. That's quite strong, isn't it? That's going to be quite strong, which I quite like. And then if I only stitch 1 strand, for example, oh, sorry, I didn't realise quite how off centre you were. I don't know if you were able to see that, but if I was to stitch 1 strand, then it would be like that. I can't even really see it. I don't think you can really see it. I think I'm going to do 2. I think I'm going to do 2 strands because you want the M and the A to really show up, I think. So I'm going to do that. Let's do that. Okay, so 2 strands, and it starts, where does it start? There. So right, I'm going to tie on and be back in a second. Yeah, I'm going to do 2 strands. I want it to look quite rich and quite sumptuous, and I think it will if it's got a bit more to it. Let me think about this. It's got a lot of leaves coming off of it. I think this might actually be too much. And the good thing is, it's your piece of work. It's my piece of work, but you can decide to do what you want with it. You can be like, oh no, that's too much, and just stop it. This is going to be awful to frog though if I hate it. Let's just go with it for now. Okay, so I'm going to make the decision to frog this out. I think if it was just the flow of the A, I think it would be fine, because then I think 2 strands of the Gloriana would kind of match this lame thread. But because it's supposed to have all of these little bits that branch off of it, and you can't really see. Hang on, let me do it a different way. I see the cat hair, or just like a fibre. I don't know what that is. What is it? Oh, of course it's cat hair. You can't really see them. It just looks like a thicker line. So I'm going to frog it out, do it in one strand, and then I just checked on other people's stitches that have done this before, and it looks brilliant. With one strand you can actually see all the little leaves, because then what I'm going to do then is come over this dark purple strand with tiny little branches that come off it as well, and so I think it's going to look odd. So I'm gonna frog this out. Ooh. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I've tied on again. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff I highlighted. It wasn't too bad to frog or unpick. Well, no, I frogged it because I did actually rip all the thread. So, yes, right. Let's go again. I think that's it. That is it. Oh, it got a bit tealy at the end, but mainly it's green. Lovely job. Okay, so you can see the A now for Antoinette. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? Right, I'm going to try and do this third colour. I'll be back in a second. Start on this purple, and it's tough now. Oh, I could probably do with a much smaller needle, but I've started now. So this, interestingly, is indeed the bit where I was like, oh, it's fine, I'll stitch over it. Yeah. 1, 2. I don't think you're going to be able to see it anyway. 1, 1, 2. So I'm doing this in one strand as well. It does say that if you chose to do the second bit in 2 strands, then this should be done in 2 strands as well. But as you would have just seen, I chose 1 strand, so I'm doing this in 1 strand. So, although now this might add extra texture to this, now the green might be too thin. Whatever, it's done now. I'm not unpicking this. No. Oh, I can't get in there. There we go. That was pretty tough. Is that the bottom of that one? Yep. That goes in there. And then we'll just go straight across. Down to the top corner of that one, yeah. one, yeah, down to there, that one, oh, across to there, that's it. Oh, done. I think that's sort of a new level of backstitch unlocked in my stitching journey. I think that's fair to say. Okay, so this is still without beads, so it'll have a lot more of an effect. But that looks cool. You can see the M, you can see the A. I don't think the green is too thin. If anything now, weirdly, it looks thicker than the purple. But yeah, when I come in, you can really see all the little stitches. I'm just going to zoom in a tiny bit more. Yeah, nuts. You can see all those tiny, tiny stitches in the background. That's really cool. I'm dead chuffed with that. Okay, so that's all the stitching done. I'm delighted. Beading to go, which I'll do tonight, and then the North Fan Garden will be done. So thank you for sticking with me on this, and thank you for listening to me count and talk to myself. Yes, thank you very much. See you in a bit. Bye. Actually, I just wanted to show you the back. It's really chunky. This is thick. That's quite thick. Yeah. So yeah, it looks pretty though, doesn't it, on the back? A bit more sparkly on the back, which I think you can see quite nicely. All this gold backstitch over here is obviously there's far more of it on the back, so it looks really quite sparkly. Yeah, amazing. Oh yeah, and all that sort of black backstitch around the fan gardens, because all the long stitches are on the front. All you can see are these little circles. Just fascinating what actually shows up on the back. It's amazing. These dense road stitches, apart from this sort of side stitch on here, which is to get to the next one, and missing one stitch because of it, they almost look the same on the back. It's fantastic. Right, anyway, yeah, that was it. I just wanted to show you the back because that's where a lot more of the magic has happened, which you don't normally get to see. So, right, I'm going to tie off and head off. See you in a bit. Bye. Well, hello. Okay, it's a few hours later. Well, actually, it's the rest of the day has gone by, and now it's the evening. And this is where I am now. I have now finished stitching and beading this whole of the North Fan Garden. It's now completely done. It's so cool. There's a lot less stitching in this one because of this centerpiece. Even though that was tricky, it was a lot less stitching. And there's these two big crystals here, which are not at the top, interestingly. This has got a dense road stitch here in Petite Treasure Braid. I've chose Petite Treasure Braid. It's the closest colour to the symbol. So yeah, it's all done. Got the beads up here in the top, and this bit here kind of looks a bit like a crown when you come away a little bit more. I don't know. Anyway, I just absolutely love it. Got different colour beads here, and then yeah, this is all done now. Whoops, sorry, more beads around there. Yeah, all done. It's so cool. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So as you can see now, I've done the north, east and west, and as you would expect, I'm now going to go down and stitch the south garden. Oh yeah, there's the on the rolled up section of the whole thing. You can see this is the back here. And that is the imprint. That's what it looks like when you stretch beads out a bit. So that's the imprint of those beads. Yeah, it's nice and bright and colourful. And look when the light catches this compared to when it doesn't. They're exactly the same. But they just show so differently. Amazing. Amazing. So yeah, that's it. I'm now going to move the fabric down. I might have to cut another piece of felt. I've got some felt here. And I might have to cut another piece. Well, I'm going to cut another piece to go across here to protect this so that I can move the fabric up now. And I really want to do it before I go to bed so that I can, next time I stitch on it, I don't have to move the fabric to stitch. I can just sit down straight away and get it done. So that's the plan. Yeah. See you in the south garden, I guess. Bye.